have my secrets, nothing more. I check the drawers, I check the spikes, left me hanging in my Nikes. Last night we tore up the town, now my wallet's not around. Call the cops or play it smooth, pay my debts and start anew. Hey, hey, where'd it go? My cash, my cars, my flow. Don't you know what's gone? Now I'm broke from dusk till dawn. Dancing lights and screaming bass, drinks were flowing in that place. Left a tip but lost my grip, now my wallet's gonna slip.
In a world where financial advice is as blurry as a wild night of cheap Jell-O shots, clear your head and your monetary halitosis with the About That Wallet show hosted by Anthony Weaver. Leave those Jell-O shots for the amateurs and learn to indulge in the top shelf bottles, baby. Now, here's your host, Anthony Weaver.
What up, everybody? Hopefully y'all are having a wonderful Friday Eve. Welcome back to another exciting show, the About That Wallet podcast, where we help the sandwich generation build strong financial habits so that they can talk about money, spend money, and enjoy their money with confidence. Today, I have an awesome guest who's been on the show, I'll say almost 2 years ago now, and was able to predict the price of Bitcoin, has always been talking about crypto, why you need to have crypto in your life, why you need to invest, and actually take yourself to that next level. Without further ado, welcome to the stage, Dr. Hans Boateng. How you doing today?
Very well, Anthony. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's been a wild ride. It's great to see you. I mean, I see you've been doing your thing for so long. So what's been going on lately?
Oh man, so much. This year has been quite hectic. The year started off with having to follow kind of all of the changes happening. And I often say in the first 5 months of the year, I worked harder than the past like 5 years. And
Wow.
I'm sure people listening to us can empathize because of the level of change that we've seen so far. But yes, whenever, regardless of what's going on in the world, there is always an opportunity for individuals who have access to the right information. I feel like we are at that point. And so many individuals in our community, immigrants, minorities, or individuals who weren't born into rich and wealthy households, I feel like they are going to miss a once in a lifetime opportunity as it relates to digital assets. That is why I have this level of passion and conviction. And in all honesty, that's why I've committed my life to making sure that we do not miss this boat, or if I should say, this rocket ship.
It's been going to the moon lately. So one of the things is that this is obviously a commodity space. We talked heavy about crypto last time, about like what it's about, how you get into it, and so forth. There's a lot of them out there. Can you at least bring up about some of the ones that's been striking to you to see has been taken off since the last time we spoke?
Yeah. So obviously, let me take a step back and share this. Last night, I saw this random post and I was watching, and it was two females. They don't know much about investing, finance. And one of them was telling the other that I put about 1.5 million into XRP. And if XRP, reaches $10, she's going to retire. And then the other girl was like, so does it mean I should put my money in XRP? And I was just listening. I was like, wow, this is fascinating. Like, you can tell they don't really even understand, what they've purchased.
Mhm.
But it's just this concept of the number is going to go up and I'm going to be rich. There are so many crypto assets out there for individuals listening. And obviously, during the course of this interview, I'll be able to dive into kind of specifics. But what most people need to understand is that Bitcoin is the OG, right? Think of Bitcoin like the S&P 500 of crypto. Okay, if you want the relatively robust, relatively safe crypto asset, and you don't want to take too much risk, that is Bitcoin. When you move beyond Bitcoin, any other crypto asset, any other blockchain, think of it as picking individual stocks. So almost like picking an Apple or an Amazon or a Google, right? You are trying to say, I believe this, in quotes, it's not a company, but this company, this crypto asset is going to do better in the future. So right now, there are millions of crypto assets. For individuals listening, I'll say the best way to approach it is to try and stay within the first, let's call it the top 20 crypto assets. There are many of them, right? I'm just going to mention a couple of them just off the top of my head, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Dogecoin, ADA. There's HBAR, there is Chainlink, I could keep going on and on. The way to determine which crypto asset should I potentially consider? Well, in my opinion, before individuals even begin considering other crypto assets, they need to have the baseline or the foundation, right? Which obviously is Bitcoin. Now, once that individual has Bitcoin, then you move beyond it. I guess the question someone might ask is, okay, let's say I want to allocate $100 to crypto assets, or I want to allocate $1,000, right? Whatever the amount is, think about it from a percentage standpoint. I would say, give and take, 60 to 80% of it should be focused on Bitcoin. Right?
That's interesting.
60 to 80% are focused on Bitcoin. Now, when an individual moves from Bitcoin, now we go to maybe Ethereum, Solana. That's the second stage.
Okay.
So Ethereum, Solana, that's where an individual can say, okay, maybe I'm going to get a 30% exposure. So if they were 60%, you add 30 to it. So it brings you up to 90, right? But if you were 80%, then you add 10%, either Ethereum or Solana, to bring you to 90. Then the remaining 10%, in all honesty, doesn't matter what you buy because it's not going to make that much of a difference. But yes, you can then sprinkle whatever is on your heart. Maybe a little bit of Doge or some Chainlink or, fill in the blank, HBAR. There's just so many others. For individuals to be able to at least have a general idea of, is this crypto asset good or not? There are two things that they need to keep in mind. The first is, how much demand, attention does this particular crypto asset have? Okay, because the level of demand is going to bring in buyers for that crypto asset. And the more people who are buying, whenever you have a crypto asset that has more buyers than sellers, it's going to drive price. It's no different from stocks. It's no different from real estate. It's no different from gold or any asset. When you have more individuals, willing to buy than you have people who are willing to sell, the price is going to move up. So pay attention to the level of demand that's out there. I often used to overlook XRP. As someone who really understands the space, I'm thinking to myself, why would I buy XRP?
And in the beginning, yeah.
With XRP as a token, it was, let's call it, a company created it. The name of the company is Ripple. So they created this XRP out of thin air. And then they distributed it to individuals who were buying the token. So then the company just gets to keep the money to themselves, right? So I believe the company holds like 50 to 60% of all XRP. That's a boatload of money that this company just literally printed out of thin air. Am I going to buy this thing hoping to pass it to multiple generations. No, the difference between Bitcoin, which the anonymous person who created Bitcoin, we know that individual did it because the person wanted to help.
Yep.
The person was looking at the financial system. They felt like, and we don't know if it was an individual person or a group of people, they felt like this system is unfair to everyone because you cannot see what's happening. It's opaque. The rich and wealthy are benefiting. They're able to strike deals. They're able to invest in startups very early, ride all of the growth. Eventually, that startup lists on the stock market, making rich people even more wealthy. And then after it's on the stock market, us regular folk, we can come in and then buy now that it's on the stock market. And whenever the rich and wealthy, they take on excessive risk and it's threatening to the financial system, what happens? The government comes in, signs a bailout package, sorts them all out. No one gets into trouble, and then the show continues. So the creator of Bitcoin said, you know what? This is wrong. We need an alternative financial system, financial asset that treats everyone the same.
Yeah.
Everyone is on the same level. There's nothing that can be hidden. It's transparent. So this person created it. And when they created it, they didn't even get to say, oh, I'm going to keep the tokens to myself. No, it was structured in a way where a certain number of tokens is released into the world and anyone has the ability to buy it. So from the scratch, Bitcoin was a genuine, fair asset class, if you will, or crypto asset. It's just fair from the get-go. No one was profiting from the creation of Bitcoin. That is what sets Bitcoin apart from every other crypto asset, right? So Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Dogecoin, you can trace it back to a human being who created it, often with a profit motive. And there's nothing wrong with having a profit motive, right? I run a business, the Investing Tutor. When individuals, purchase access to my community or my educational content, I earn money. So there's nothing wrong with a profit motive. However, in my opinion, when it's excessive or when comparing it with Bitcoin, you see that Bitcoin is just completely different. So I'll just pause there. Well, I gave you one factor to look for, right? So it's demand. The second factor is scarcity. Is there a limited quantity of this token? Right? Because if you have demand, meaning a lot of people wanting to buy something and there's a limited quantity of it, the only direction for price is up. You see, that is what makes Bitcoin, and I'm not saying Bitcoin is the only scarce crypto asset. No, XRP has a limited quantity. Ethereum is deflationary. So the more people who use the network, it actually reduces the supply of Ethereum.
Interesting.
Yes, out there. So each one has its own advantages, if you will. So those are the two things that I would say pay attention to. One is, what's the level of demand out there? So when I saw that video of two females and one saying I put 1.5 million and it's just trending on TikTok, I was like, okay, let's assume someone doesn't know anything about investing.
Yeah.
They pull up Robinhood or they pull up Coinbase or they pull up any crypto exchange. They look at the price of Bitcoin, $111,000, right? And maybe they look at the price of XRP, $4 or $3. I honestly don't even know what the price is right now.
It's okay.
Crypto assets I pay attention to. Even though now I'm beginning to say, hey, maybe I need to give it a little bit of respect, right? So for individuals listening who maybe perhaps they have XRP, there's nothing wrong with having it, because even this year, XRP is up about 300 to 400%.
What?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely. Right.
Okay.
Bitcoin is up, give and take about 25%, this year.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive
Yeah.
for a crypto asset.
Considering where's that? And one of the things is that because I always give my little reminder here when my station breaks because we can keep running. I do want to take a moment. Thank you, everybody who's here right now. Dr. Hans is here because we talked about this maybe 2 years ago, and we had such a great time doing the lives that he wanted to come back and share some more information. It's been great. So one of the things is that coming through, if you guys are just here, just go on and say hi in the chat. We're going to say hi to the people that are here who I told everybody, if you can't make it, leave a message in the chat. So thank you, Virgil, for leaving some questions. We're going to get to those a little later. Hey, Lisa, J Stocks, awesome channel. If you haven't got a chance to check it out. What's going on, Roderick? And let's see who we got. Pastor Chris. What's going on, Tina? Thank y'all for coming through. And continue on having the chats in the background. Leave some questions because we want to make sure we get to those. Leave some time for that. Now, one of the things that you mentioned earlier was talking about the different administration. When the shift of administrations that come through, how does that actually impact crypto as we go forward?
Yeah, that's a great question, right? It's no surprise that this current administration is very pro crypto. So individuals who, might not necessarily agree with many of the policies or the stance of this administration, they'll be looking at them saying, you know what, I'm not going to buy that crypto thing because they are going to affiliate crypto with the administration, which would be a very wrong move to make. Because obviously at the beginning of this interview, I shared how Bitcoin was created in a way that was meant to do good for the world, right? And regardless of whoever is in power and regardless of the country, Bitcoin is going to continue to issue more blocks, continue to verify transactions, and continue to increase in value, regardless of who is president across any country, right? It's unstoppable. That's the best way to put it. So with that being said, I want individuals who are listening, regardless of their political stance, to be curious about this new asset class. I like to say when you look at wealth, majority of wealth was first made in physical assets like gold, real estate, and then it transitioned to stocks. Note that for many people in our community, as immigrants, minorities, when Wall Street was making a lot of money with stocks in late 90s or early 2000s, we didn't have Robinhood, we didn't have Public, we didn't have, brokerage accounts that gave us access. So many of us missed the opportunity to get exposure.
Yeah.
So this time, with an asset that is universally available globally to anyone on earth with an internet connection, I think it's huge. So we went from physical assets to stocks, and now we're going from stocks to digital assets. It is one of the biggest innovations and transformations I've ever witnessed in my life. Let me put some context around it. This new digital asset ecosystem, or this new crypto ecosystem, or these new blockchains will power everything. They'll power stocks, bonds. Even today, the US government announced that moving forward, literally today, individuals can go search this after. Moving forward, when they are releasing GDP data, so data about the US economy and things like that, they are going to issue that on the blockchain.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to check that out.
Yes, you should.
That's very cool.
So it's an example of everything that we see in our world right now can be tokenized meaning that it is going to be powered by the blockchain. Why should the things that we see, maybe you take your card from your wallet and you go and pay for a transaction. When you swipe that card, it has to go to Visa. Then Visa has to check whether your bank account has the money. Then the bank will go back and tell Visa, oh, this person has the money. And then Visa, it's too complicated.
It's true.
It's too complicated, right? With the blockchain, it's instant in like 0.1, in like 0.1 second or 1 millisecond.
Wow.
A person pays for something, the money is taken instantly. We know whether you have the money or not. The store instantly gets the money. They don't have to wait for 1 month for Walmart or Amazon to send them. None of that. It's instant. That means you are clearing all of the middlemen and all of the middlewomen. And it's just direct transactions. It's infinitely better than the current system that we have. Why should the stock market trade from 9:30 to 4 p.m. every single day? Why? Because we have archaic systems.
Yep.
Once it moves on to the blockchain, once it's tokenized, it's going to trade 24/7, Monday to Sunday, the same way Bitcoin trades, right? So it's just clear to me that we are going to move this entire world onto the blockchain, which is why I say is a tremendous opportunity, because Satoshi created Bitcoin. In all honesty, I believe that Satoshi felt like, you know what, a certain group of people have been disadvantaged. The rich and wealthy have accumulated all of the assets. So if there was a way to redistribute wealth, right? If there was a way to redistribute wealth, how do you do it? You restart it. How do you restart it? You take it from physical to digital. So the individuals who own the right digital assets early will be beneficiaries of that wealth transfer that's happening.
Is it almost like how when look at the commodities that were back then, as far as gold and silver, in the countries that actually held on to it, was like, okay, well, we got this rock, it was just metal alloy just sitting there. We don't really need it. We have it. But now all of a sudden the world wants it. And now all of a sudden it seems like, oh, now we're rich just out the blue because everybody want to change the way that we do business. So what we're saying now is that, okay, so some of the people who invested early on was like, all right, we were just doing this for fun. Like the guy who purchased was it Domino's pizza with Bitcoin for the first time. I think he spent what, like
Bitcoin.
Yeah, ridiculous. And then all of a sudden he got his pizza and everybody thought it was crazy. Like, what is this thing? Now all of a sudden it's like, you know, he's crazy now for spending that amount. But at the time it was useless because nobody really saw the value in it. So now everybody's starting to see the value. Okay, let's try to get into it. So there was a question that just popped up, which makes sense. Perfect timing for this question. This is coming from Melinda, which says, you know, pretend I know nothing. What is the blockchain?
So the whole concept of blockchain is because of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin pretty much invented the idea of blockchains. So let's take those two words, block and chain, right? A block is just, think of it as an Excel sheet of transactions. So one person sends an amount of money to a wallet. So your wallet is going to have a certain identification number and another wallet is going to have an identification number. So one wallet sends money to another wallet. So a transaction happens. The way that and before I explain blockchain, I just want to give individuals a general idea of what's going on. So every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin blockchain puts together all the transactions that's happened between one wallet to another, right? And then it puts it together in a block. So it's like a block of transactions. Then those transactions are verified. And you might be wondering, who are the people verifying the transactions? Anyone can verify a transaction. You just need to have the right computing power and the right systems to be able to verify the transaction, right? That's also what makes Bitcoin unique, because there isn't a company somewhere that is powering this network. Anyone can power the network, right? So block is just series of transactions that's happened over a span of time. Typically, it's about 10 minutes. When those transactions are verified, right, they can never be changed. You cannot say, I didn't send the money to that wallet. Well, you click send.
Yeah.
And it's encoded on the blockchain. You cannot reverse it, right? So when the transactions are verified, that's one block. And then it chains it or links it to another block, which then starts, okay, the next 10 minutes, the transactions that's happened. This person is sending money to this person, or this person is sending an NFT to that person, or this person just purchased the car. So now there's a verifiable digital proof that they purchased the car. So they are the owner of the car. Oh, this person just purchased the house.
Right.
All of what I'm saying is not necessarily happening at scale now, but it's going to. And all of those transactions that are in a block, they are transparent and available for anyone to see. So blockchain, block of transactions linked to whatever the new one is. So why is it a blockchain? It means that there's a history of every single transaction that's happened from the onset of that, in quotes, crypto asset, all the way into the future. That those chains of transactions are blockchains. It's just pretty much a ledger to be able to verify that a transaction happened between two wallets.
Perfect. Because I mean, that kind of sets the baseline for all of this whole conversation. I mean, this whole conversation around it. So, when it comes to understanding, okay, this is the future that we're living in today. A lot of other countries are already using it. There's whole documentaries that are about this process in this particular, different, obviously different currencies for those particular countries. You mentioned that Bitcoin is the OG.
Yes.
Is there any reason why we can't create our own crypto for our own business? Saying like, hey, from friends or whatever, like, hey, we have a cool club or whatever. Like, say the wallet, like this is about that wallet. I can make my own ATW coin and saying like, hey, anybody that's want to be part of my net, that want to exchange with me, only exchange in ATW coin.
Yep.
This is the price for it, and I'm accepting this coin.
Yeah,
I can do that.
You can 100% do that, but we're waiting for regulation to legally be allowed to do that. So let me take you back. The prior administration was a bit hesitant with crypto. Let me explain why. In the beginning, they were close to Sam Bankman-Fried, who, for people who don't know, the gentleman was the founder of FTX. Well, FTX ended up blowing up and it became a huge ordeal. We went into like this 2-year bear market where crypto prices dropped like significantly.
Wow.
So the prior administration, they were looking to legalize crypto, but they were leaning more, right? And I'm just sharing this as my opinion from what I, saw in the space. Individuals can go and do their own research to verify. So they were leaning more towards Sam Bankman-Fried to see what they could do to legalize crypto. And then all of a sudden, FTX blew up, and it was like, we need to distance ourselves from this guy and this industry, right? We were trying to give them an opportunity. It's just unfortunate that they didn't go. And when I say they, I'm talking about the prior administration. They didn't link up with the legit players in the space. Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, Jack Dorsey, Square, Michael Saylor, Strategy. Like, there are legitimate pioneers that were there. All of a sudden, they chose to align themselves somewhat with, Sam Bankman-Fried, and we know what happened. So when that happened, they just changed their posture. They're like, you know what? We don't understand this thing. We're trying to give it an opportunity. We don't want anything to do with this. And in fact, they were like, we just want to get rid of it. We want to get rid of crypto, and we're going to make it very difficult for it to flourish in the US. So it became a very hostile environment. The current administration noticed the posture of the prior administration towards crypto. So they were like, we're actually going to become a champion of crypto. So the Trump administration is using it as an advantageous thing that you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Initially, in 2019, Trump had posted that, it's only criminals that use Bitcoin and it's used for nefarious activities. All of a sudden, when he noticed that 50 million Americans hold crypto, he's like, those are voters.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
those are voters. And he was like, I'm going to make America the crypto capital of the world.
And that is actually going to this particular question. You already answered it, but keep going, man. I'm just posting it for everybody to see.
America, the crypto capital of the world. I was at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, literally about 5 rows. And when I paid for the ticket for the conference, I didn't know that the president was going to be there, just to put some context around it. I didn't know. I was like 5 rows. I was looking at him. And when he said, I'm going to make America the crypto capital of the world, it's so fascinating. For people who are really pro-crypto, like, that's all we think about. Like, we're not even looking at the messenger, because we know that this system is created to do good. So whoever the messenger is to come and promote this system, we don't care, because that individual is just there for 4 years.
Yeah.
This is going to live on in perpetuity. So when that happened, it was like, oh my gosh, this is a big deal. So immediately when the prior administration saw that, oh no, this new administration is trying to take these group of people, they flipped. All of a sudden, they were like, we'll allow Ethereum ETFs to be approved. We'll allow Bitcoin ETFs, and we are pro-crypto. But it was late. It was late, So to tie into the earlier question that we spoke about, is there a possibility that an incoming administration can flip and be negative against crypto? Think about it this way. 50 million people held crypto when there was a hostile environment towards it. Over the next, let's call it 2 to 4 years, we might probably double that amount to 100 million people or 125 million people holding crypto. You think someone who wants to be elected in 2028 is going to come out and say, I don't like Bitcoin.
Right.
I don't like crypto. I am going to destroy it. It's comparable to someone saying, I don't like Social Security. I don't like Medicare. I am going to destroy it. You never want to touch people's money when you're a politician. So in my opinion, I feel this industry, this sector, this asset transcends political parties.
Thank you for that. Because that is one of the things that to understand is, like, when the president is invested, how does it actually impact the citizens? And you laid that out perfectly. So I want to give out some more shout outs to the people who are here.
Sure.
You gotta give a shout out to the people. So, we wouldn't be doing this without you all. And I want to just say thank you for coming through. So, hey, what's going on, Henrietta? We have Limbar. What's going on, Barney's? We got Samuel in the house. Hey, what's going on, Angelina? Tax Services, best tax service person. She comes on every year, talk about taxes, true enrolled agent, awesome stuff. And obviously we heard about Melinda, and welcome Jen to the show. So one of the things that I want to give a gift out to the people. I know, like, I'm heavy on books. You also good with books. Is there a favorite book that you want to give to somebody you want to give out today? It's on me. I'll pay for it. But is there a book that you want to give out to everybody? I'm going to do a hashtag crypto if you want to get in. So if you are looking into getting into this giveaway, we're just going to do this at the end of the show. Just type in hashtag crypto if you want to get into this drawing. and that will actually, we just got to find out the book. So what do we want to give away? What book?
I'll say the Bitcoin Standard.
Ooh, I never heard of that book.
The Bitcoin Standard, yes. To give a little bit of
yeah,
a summary of what individuals can expect, that book is a required reading for anyone who's interested in truly understanding Bitcoin, digital assets, because it explains, most individuals who haven't done the work about Bitcoin, they will look at it and say, oh, what makes Bitcoin valuable, right?
Right.
What makes it valuable? It's just a string of numbers sending something from one wallet to another. Why is Bitcoin $100,000? Where does that value come from, right?
Yeah.
But when you read that book, you learn that money is an abstract concept. Back in the days, they used to use seashells and glass beads as money. And this is even making me emotional because African countries used to use glass beads as money. And when Europeans came into Africa and they saw that Africans were using glass beads, the Europeans knew how to manufacture identical beads. So they went back, manufactured the beads, came back into the country, and they used those beads to buy all the assets from the local people.
Wow.
Yes. Right. So the thing about money that you don't want is you don't want money that anyone or some random person can create.
That makes sense.
Yes. So once you begin to understand the history of money, okay, what makes gold? Why do people even use gold?
Well, for me, I know from understanding electronics is that gold is a great semiconductor. It's a very soft metal. It's really a horrible metal. Like when you really think about it, against all the different types of metals that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's a great conductor for electricity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I could see behind it.
Remember at the beginning, I said that there are two things that individuals need to look out for: demand and scarcity.
Yeah.
So let's first look at scarcity. Gold is scarce. On average, every year, you can just dig up or find maybe an additional 1% of gold that's added to the supply. So there's a limited quantity of gold.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of demand, what caused the demand? Individuals realized gold was scarce. It's shiny. They're like, you know what? We're just going to hold this thing. And instantly, gold became money, something that became a store of value for individuals. And the US was on the gold standard, meaning the US pegged its currency to gold up until 1971, when the US realized that, you know what, we are saying that we pegged our currency to gold, but we don't have enough gold. If countries were coming to us saying, hey, we want the gold, here's your currency, we want the gold. So Nixon announced in 1971 that we're taking the US off the gold standard. What does that mean? It means that the dollar doesn't have to be pegged to gold. And the government can print the dollar at will, right? So individuals are looking at real estate. You ask the average person, why do you buy real estate? Well, because it goes up. Why is it going up? Why is real estate going up? Most people think, oh, it's because it just goes up. No, it's going up because governments print more money. Okay. If money was a fixed quantity, well, if it was a fixed quantity, it would still go up if there was more demand coming in. Yeah. Or no, if money was a fixed quantity and you couldn't make more of it, there's going to be a very fixed quantity. So it fixes prices at a level, and you can't have more money. So it's stationary pretty much. But once you can create more money, that money begins to move into the assets. And the more money that someone has, it means that person has the ability to pay more for that thing. So whenever someone can pay more for an asset, the price will rise because price moves to the price of the highest bidder. So most people are holding homes and it keeps going up, and they don't realize it's because governments are able to print money, right? That's why you have the appreciation in homes. That's what makes Bitcoin unique.
Okay, and obviously we can, because early on it was easy to mine it. Because I remember people used to just mine it with just a Raspberry Pi, and then there was Raspberry Pi farms where you can just put like 12 of them together and get some Bitcoin.
Yes.
Now you need a full warehouse just to get one at this point. So, like you said, builds that scarcity. And when you went back earlier, you said it's a finite amount that you can get.
Yeah.
And no more. That's it once it's done. So
21 million.
And how far are we from that number? Do you recall?
Yes, we are about 19.7.
That's it.
Yeah, we've created 19.7 million Bitcoin. So we are left with maybe about 1.3 million that will be created over the next 100 and something years.
Jeez.
Mhm.
So in order to mine that, we got to go beyond the compute power that we currently have, which I'm
Absolutely.
thinking
Absolutely.
quantum will be the next compute power that I can think of.
Potentially, or powerful. I'm sure Nvidia or these kind of chip companies are able to create semiconductors that are specifically, I believe they are called ASICs, that are specifically manufactured for Bitcoin mining. But that power or that compute will definitely need to be scaled up, as more people want to mine it.
Okay.
And Anthony, if I could share this, and I think it's worth people understanding. I just shared with you that 19.7, and it's just a rough estimate. Ballpark, I might be off by either 0.1 or 0.2. But let's go 19.7 million Bitcoin currently in circulation. But 95% of the entire globe don't own or have any Bitcoin.
Right.
And the price is 12,000. Even though 95% of the world don't own any Bitcoin.
Okay, now you get into my sweet spot now, which is the futures. Where do you think this is going to go? Well, since you predicted right from last 2 years ago, you predicted accurately. What do you think is going to be in the next 2 years?
In the next 2 years, call it 2027, I believe that Bitcoin will be somewhere between 200 and 300,000 in the next 2 years. In the next 5 years, so 2030, I'll say 500,000 to 1 million.
Wow. Okay. That is okay. At the way of expansion, I could see that happening. Only because, like you said, the more people get into it and everything like that.
Yeah. I often
But
say,
how did you come to that number though?
how did I come to that number? You just look at the exponential growth of Bitcoin. So I study Bitcoin a lot. On average, every day, generally, I spend about 4 to 5 hours studying markets. Of that 4 to 5 hours, at least 2 to 3 is spent specifically on digital assets. And I've been doing this since like 2016, for context.
Wow.
So I might be breaking things down in a very simple way, but it's a lot of information that I have taken in over the course of the years. In 2017, when I started to buy Bitcoin, it was $1,000, and I was playing around. I'll buy a few $100 here because, I'm now understanding this thing. It's almost like you are playing. Then in 2020, you're like, oh man, this thing is really good. It's life-changing. Then 2022, you're like, where can I get money? Where can I get money? Like, oh, that old 401k is sitting there. How do I roll it over? Be able to buy like, ETFs, or like you begin to think, how do I get money? Like anyone who has spent about 5 years at least, right, studying this asset, you go from playing around, let me just buy a few things here, to like you are running around understanding the importance. So often when I share about Bitcoin or this digital asset space, I want people to borrow my passion and borrow the years of studying and learning about this asset, so that they don't become convicted in 5 years from now when Bitcoin is $1 million. Like, take my conviction now, right? Go do some due diligence, maybe read the Bitcoin Standard, watch a few. You can go to hope.com. You can write that website down, hope.com. Go and read the publications on there. Go and read the books about Bitcoin. Do some due diligence, but borrow my conviction, because it's huge. So how do I come up with the number? There's something called a power law. Apparently, you are able to track with mathematics how much growth certain animals can have, or how much growth a city can, like how a city can grow over time in terms of its population and all of these things. You are able to apparently statistically figure it out. So it's called a power law.
Mhm.
So individuals plugged the power law into Bitcoin, and they found out that Bitcoin follows a perfect power law, which is also another mind-blowing fact.
That's
right?
rare. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the power law predicts that Bitcoin should be 1 million somewhere between 2033 and 2035.
That's quick.
Mhm.
In 10 years.
Yes. And the power law predicts that Bitcoin will be about 13 million 2045.
Mm. So y'all hearing it first, and we're gonna play this back. Y'all know we're gonna play this back. So
Like, Anthony, when I started teaching about investing, right?
Yeah.
The thing that's always been on my heart is I see people in our community. We don't have a lot of financial resources, right? If we wanted to become millionaires, how do we do it? It's very difficult. How do you do it? Become a millionaire in America. Sure, if you're lucky and you work very, very hard, like I have, you can create $1 million or multi-million dollar business.
Yeah.
But it requires an insane amount of work. It's not easy at all. You have to execute at a level that most people will not be able to. And the sacrifice that you have to make, it's excessive. I've lived it, right?
Yeah.
But what is a very simple way for individuals to be able to get to $1 million without having to go and start a business, without having, like, this, in my opinion, Bitcoin is the simplest way for anyone to become a millionaire and eventually multi-millionaire. That is why I am constantly posting about Bitcoin. That is why I constantly talk about Bitcoin, because I view it as the ark. When we think about it in the context of Noah, I view it as the ark that is saving us from the inflation that is all around us, from the economic disaster, from the exploitation of individuals who are well connected and they have boatloads of money and they are striking their side deals. Bitcoin is that ark that takes us to that land of milk and honey. Right. And it so I wake up every day and all I think about is Bitcoin. It's so crazy, like literally every single day. I remember one day I was walking around and I was like, wow. Imagine, Anthony, an announcement came beginning of this year, I think somewhere between February and May, that Coinbase has been added to the S&P 500. Okay?
Yeah.
So now, all of a sudden, everyone who is anti-crypto, it doesn't matter that you're anti-crypto, you own crypto.
Yep.
Okay, you own crypto. Coinbase is the S&P 500.
Yeah.
Hello?
Right.
Like it's happened. A month ago, Square, which is Jack Dorsey's company, added to the S&P 500. So now you have two companies that are predominantly crypto companies.
Yeah.
Anthony, I want you to write this down, and the individuals listening. The moment you hear that MicroStrategy, which is Michael Saylor's company, or strategy, ticker symbol is MSTR. MSTR. The day that you hear MicroStrategy has been added to the S&P, game over. Let me explain why.
Okay.
Michael Saylor, in 2020, he converted his company to be a company that puts all of its money into Bitcoin. So Michael Saylor he was investing in Apple, Facebook, Google, Amazon in 2009 because he believed that a digital wave was happening and it was going to demonetize libraries. It was going to demonetize songs. This was Michael Saylor saying this in 2009. Obviously, no one believed him. So he put about $10 million into Apple, Google, Facebook, these companies, Amazon. And 10 years later, that 10 million was 100 million or 200 million. And he sold all of those stocks and put all of the 200 million into Bitcoin.
What?
Yes. So that caught my attention. Like I said, when you are studying Bitcoin, as you begin to see certain things, it increases your level of conviction because you're like, I'm here worrying about the few $1,000s I'm putting into this thing, and like someone just put 200 million.
Right.
So he put 200 million. Then he went to his company because he's the founder of the company. He owns majority share. And he told his board, go and study Bitcoin. And then we're going to come back, discuss it. So the board did that. They came back and they took all of the company's cash, 500 million, bought Bitcoin. Wow. Then he went to borrow 250 million.
On top of his company, bought more Bitcoin. Then he issued bonds, corporate bonds, 500 million, bought more Bitcoin. Like all of this happening somewhere between 2020 and let's call it 2021, 2022. That's a quick turnaround with that much cash.
Yes. MicroStrategy was worth $1 to $2 billion when they started buying Bitcoin. Today, it's $120 billion company.
Talk about flipping, man. Okay, rolling in cash.
Yes. Now, 3 weeks ago, MicroStrategy now qualifies for the S&P 500. So the big question is, will they let them in?
That is a great question.
That is a great question.
Before we move on, I'm going to throw in a quick commercial.
Sure.
Then we're going to go straight to answering questions because there's a lot of questions coming in, and I want to make sure we end out the rest of that, and then we can go on and do the do the drawing. So it'd be about like a minute, like 30-second thing. If you just want to grab some water or something like that, we can go and knock that out. So let me go on and throw in my commercial if I can find my stuff. Some of y'all who've been watching that show, y'all know about it. This one, if I can find the thing. Okay, this is a little trivia. It's just a minute long. If you want to grab something. All right, and we'll be right back. See you soon. welcome back. Welcome back. I had to pour myself some kombucha because I mean, man, this is great stuff. Awesome opportunities coming through. So I just want to share with everybody where we at right now and how many people are into getting this book. So I'm gonna share this tab so you all can see where we standing. If it shows up to the stage, there we go. So we got 25 people that are in right now. So if you haven't already, type in hashtag crypto, it'll automatically add your count. You only get one entry. So if you already typed in crypto once, it got you. So you don't have to keep doing it. Just to let you know. So we're just gonna start diving into, while people just type in the word crypto to be inside the drawing. I'm gonna go through some of these questions here. We want to go from the top because you started hitting on it, and some people are repeating this question. Which is, if you don't, this is coming from our Virgil. She says, if you don't have much money to invest, should I even think about crypto? And also, what mistakes do beginners usually make when they try to invest in crypto assets or other assets in uncertain times?
You know, it's fascinating. In my opinion, crypto and digital assets should be what individuals who don't have a lot of money should invest in, right?
Interesting.
Yes, think about it. I think about wealth as a race. And predominantly for immigrants, minorities, we are not even running in the race yet. Like, we haven't really started building wealth. Individuals are far ahead, years ahead, centuries ahead, oftentimes, right? So you think about it as you are the starting line and you are about to start running, okay? Are you going to be copying what the people who have been running for hundreds of years or 10 years or 50 years, are you going to copy what they are doing and be moving at the same pace as they are moving? How are you going to make progress, right? You need something to accelerate your growth so that you can begin to move quicker and faster, right? So it's just fascinating. So often, and I say this as someone who spent a lot of time, years studying this industry, I get very frustrated, and I don't hold it against financial educators. I really don't, because obviously I've done the work, right? I get frustrated when individuals are leaning into this space because they are saying, buy an S&P 500. Okay, sure. Someone has $100. They buy an S&P 500. Oh, congratulations, the $100 is now 110 a year later. Woohoo! Generational wealth. What about $1,000? The 1,000 now has an extra $100. 1,100. Woo! Gonna be multi what? 100 years. I say it not to make fun, because something that I really think about, right? But I just shared with you that Bitcoin was $1,000 in 2017. So that individual who put $1,000 into Bitcoin in 2017, they would have $112,000 today. And God willing, let's assume I'm right. And in 2030, Bitcoin does hit, I said 500 to a million. Let's say it hits $1 million by 2030. The $1,000 is now worth $1 million. What other financial vehicle can do this? Like, there's none.
I can't think of any. Yeah.
Exactly. With that being said, once again, people don't have the level of conviction that I do, so they cannot go all in, right? In 2020, 2022, 2023, when I was looking at Michael Saylor putting all of his money in, did I put all of mine in? No. Back then I was 50%, 50%, right? Today I'm 90%.
You saw the light.
Yeah, today I'm 90%. But Michael Saylor will say, what are you doing, right? And where's the other 10%? The other 10% is in AI, which is a whole different, different topic. So if you don't have money, in my opinion, educate yourself, but get exposure, right? What mistakes do beginners usually make when trying to invest in crypto? They buy whatever they hear on social media. They look at the price of the crypto asset to determine what to buy, right? Like XRP, maybe it's $3 or $4. So let me put my money there. Once again, nothing wrong with XRP. But you don't want that to be the bulk of the portfolio. So re-listen to this and keep in mind kind of the allocation that I shared, not as advice, but as something to consider.
Got it. So this one is coming in from Henrietta, which said, should one have hardware storage for crypto? What brand and how can you get one? And also, is it worth it to transfer from institutions to a storage?
In my opinion, if an individual is new to crypto, they don't need to be looking at any hardware storage device because often it complicates the process. Right? The most important thing they need to do is to buy some. Okay, so you go to Coinbase, you go to Cash App, Robinhood, Public, SoFi, Fidelity. Right? Just open a brokerage account, buy some.
Okay,
that's the first thing individuals should do.
Nice and easy. There's
also an opportunity to get ETFs, whatever. However, for individuals who are really curious about having a hardware device, BitKey, BIT key, is, in my opinion, the device of choice. It was created for the mainstream audience. Guess who created it? Jack Dorsey, Square.
Wow.
Right. So yeah, and what makes it different from other crypto wallets is with other crypto wallets, you are going to be provided a set of keys, meaning certain passcodes for the wallet. If you lose the passcode, you've lost all of your crypto, it's gone. Right. One of the reasons why I often say don't worry about hardware wallets because of that. But Jack Dorsey created a wallet that doesn't have any seed phrases or any passcodes. So you can actually allow your friends or family, like multiple of them, to have tiny pieces to be able to re-verify your wallet if you ever lost it. It's built in a very great way that I think mainstream, new, beginning people to crypto, to the digital assets ecosystem will find appealing.
Okay. Let's see. We got another one here from Melinda. She says, are there any theories on who created crypto? I mean, you already talked about that a little bit. So
Nakamoto, yeah.
Yep. Let's see. We're going to go through. Oh, wow. This person come all the way from Australia. Thank you, John, for coming through. Let's see. We got some more questions. Where they at? I know y'all got some questions in here.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. What is your take on stablecoin and meme coins?
Yeah. So the Genius Bill was just passed about a month ago. And the Genius Bill, what it does is it tokenizes the US dollar. So for the first time, the US government has passed a law that allows the dollar to run on blockchains. So now the US dollar is available globally to anyone on earth. They don't need to go to a bank to get dollars. They can just have a smartphone and they can get dollars. That is going to disrupt African countries. And African countries don't even know what's coming. I feel so bad. It's going to disrupt African countries because often the currencies and I'm focusing on Africa, knowing that there are other developing countries out there that do the same thing. But the reason I'm focused on Africa is obviously because I'm African.
Yeah.
But many of the currencies in Africa hyperinflate, meaning that, it just keeps increasing against the dollar every year, 10%, 20%, 30% consistently. Well, if people can now save in dollars and they don't need to go to a bank, they don't need to talk to anyone to access that dollar, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not working hard and keeping my money in a random currency that people are going to print when I can just put it in the dollar, right? So stable coin, tokenized dollar. Meme coin is, what's the word that I'm going to, it's for fun. It's a joke. It's fun, community, vibes. Right? There's nothing there. There's nothing of substance there. It's just a vibe, right? For example, the president, before he became president, he launched a meme coin.
It's Trump coin?
Yeah, right. Trump coin. So vibes. I know it's funny, but think about it. Okay, this person is going to be the president of the United States. He launches a coin and he's about to institute positive regulation for crypto assets.
Yeah.
What is he planning for that token? Right?
Right. Exclusivity. Yeah.
What's he planning for that token? What if certain stores, we're not there right now. What if stores say that if you are purchasing something with Trump token, we give you 20% off?
I see where you're going at now. Yeah. But even if you think about it, they technically, a lot of the stores already had these things. Because like if you think about like Chuck E. Cheese, you always had those physical coins. You buy into it, whatever currency you have, you get the coins to utilize only in that store, and that store only. Kohl's Cash is one of them. Think about like all these other programs that people have because you shop there.
Yeah,
whatever coin you use, you're gonna get. This is
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift can release a coin. Beyonce can release a coin. The reason they haven't is because there hasn't been the rules and regulation. But now we're going to have it.
Gotcha.
There's a bill going through Congress right now. It's called Clarity Act. It's expected to pass before the end of the year. By the way, the Genius Act was supported by both Republicans and Democrats.
Wow.
It's not only a Republican thing. It was Republicans and Democrats came together. The majority vote.
Oh, they can come together for this, but not everything.
They came together for the Genius Act, which was the tokenization of the dollar. They will likely come together for Clarity Act. And people might be like, how come? How come for this topic of crypto, Democrats and Republicans are coming together? I want people to pay very close attention to what I'm about to share because it's incredibly important. Okay.
Now, I'd like to share. I'm going to pull this up side by side so people can see this in real time.
Sure.
That this act is actually here.
Yeah.
So it's right there. He's not lying about it. So continue. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we shared how this new administration saw the opportunity that they could have with the crypto vote. So they just leaned heavily into taking advantage of that. Well, Coinbase and other crypto companies pooled their money together and they created a political PAC called Fair Shake. And they raised $200 million for the last election. And Fair Shake is not Democrat, it's not Republican, it's just pro-crypto. And they didn't want to support the presidential election. So the money was just going towards Congress and Senate. So this is what Fair Shake does. If you are anti-crypto, they push money in your district, run ads against you so you lose. Yes.
It's so evil.
If it's not evil, it's just
it's business.
It's just pro crypto, right?
Okay.
It's not evil. It's pro crypto. If you are pro crypto, they push money in your direction. You win your election. So there was this huge race in the Senate. There was a gentleman. His name is Sherrod Brown, Ohio. He was the head of the banking committee, Democrat, and he had been the head for about 10 years or 20 years. He was very anti-crypto. He didn't even, like Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, will schedule a meeting with him. Never took his meeting ever. So they pushed about $50 to $70 million specifically for the Ohio election. Sherrod Brown, a high-level 10 to 20-year senior ranking Senate banking official versus Bernie Moreno, a newcomer, took him out.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Sent waves throughout the entire political ecosystem. Crypto is here.
Yeah, I hear you. We got Angelina. She put in here from 718 Tax Services. How quick can we become millionaires with Bitcoin?
So that's the thing. I don't want individuals to think about it as a quick thing, right? In all honesty, and I don't typically give advice, but if I was giving advice to someone that I really care about, I'd say buy Bitcoin with money that you don't need so that you never have to sell it, right? But how quickly can a person become a millionaire with Bitcoin? It depends. Let's say you buy one Bitcoin right now. And by the way, I don't think everyone needs to have one Bitcoin. And the truth is, only 21 million people can ever have one Bitcoin. So, so think about it. America has 300 million plus, resident citizens. Only 21 million can ever even have one Bitcoin. Not to mention the entire world, like 8 billion people. Only 21 million people can ever have one Bitcoin. So one Bitcoin is like a luxurious goal to shoot for. In my opinion, I think individuals should aim for 0.1 Bitcoin, 0.1.
0.1. Okay.
So whatever the price of Bitcoin is, you do 10% of that price. Make it your goal to get 0.1 Bitcoin. So let's assume we're looking at 0.1 Bitcoin, not one, right? If you're looking at one Bitcoin, my estimate is sometime 2030, 2033, we should see $1 million Bitcoin. Earliest is either 2029 or 2030, 1 million. But maybe around 2040 or 2042 or 2043, we should see $10 million Bitcoin. And I'm saying this as if it's certain, but I want individuals to know it's just a projection, right? Yeah. So the individuals who buy 0.1 Bitcoin today, it might be about $11,000 or $10,000. So 2040 or 2042, when Bitcoin hits 10 million, 0.1 would be worth $1 million, right?
I see.
So Bitcoin is about a thing of patience. And here's another thing that I want to quickly share, Anthony. Never sell Bitcoin. I want to say it again for individuals who are listening. Anthony had to readjust.
Yeah, I gotta adjust it. Right.
What are you saying, brother? Like, how am I going to make that money, right? How am I going to make money if I don't sell it? My wife says this all the time to me. She's like, okay, this Bitcoin thing, if you keep saying never sell your Bitcoin, well, how are we going to have money if we don't sell it?
If you don't sell it, right.
Let me share a secret with you that probably 99.9% of the individuals listening don't know. But people in my community do know this. Anthony, you can borrow against Bitcoin.
Yep. I'm familiar. Well, at least I'm familiar with it.
So you are part of the 0.1. You're part of the 0.1. If you want, you can ask in the chat, how many of you know that you can borrow against your Bitcoin?
Right. How many y'all answer in the chat? How many of y'all know?
How many of you know you can borrow against your Bitcoin? And let me even take it a step. Even though, Anthony, you know you can borrow against your Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Do you know that loan is approved in 12 seconds and the money is instantly deposited into your account? First, your crypto account, and you can wire it into your bank account in 24 hours.
Now that I did not know.
Yes. And you don't need to put any personal information. You don't even write your name to get access to that loan. You don't need your address. They don't care whether you have a job. They don't care what your credit score is. Instant. Once you have Bitcoin, you are guaranteed to get that loan.
Wow.
You can borrow up to 85% of the value of your Bitcoin. So if someone had $10,000, they can borrow up to $8,500 against their Bitcoin.
See, I knew because we got Angelina in here. She can correct me if I'm wrong, but usually loans are not considered income. So if you're getting a loan, you can sit there and say like, "Oh, I'm impoverished. I don't make any money." But because you got the loans, you can live off of.
Yes,
nice and easy.
With loans, you don't pay any income. I'm telling you, Anthony. I often say this: the thing with Bitcoin is the price is always going to go up over time because we know it's scarce.
Yeah.
As the price goes up, people will be like, this Bitcoin thing, why is the price going up? So they are going to want to know about it. Once they take the time to really study and know about Bitcoin, you're going to buy it. It's not a matter of will you buy Bitcoin. It's when, right? Once MSTR MicroStrategy gets into the S&P 500, do you know why that's a big deal? Because all of a sudden, everyone with a 401k will be buying MicroStrategy stock. And when people buy MicroStrategy stock, what he does is he issues more shares into the market and takes the money to buy more Bitcoin. So
Smart.
it's so smart, but think about that. It means that everyone in America will be funding the Bitcoin purchases of MSTR
Right.
in perpetuity. And the higher the value of MSTR grows, the more of an allocation the S&P 500 is going to give to it. That's why I said it's game changer.
Yeah.
People have no idea what's coming. It's funny because to me, I can see what's going to happen in about 5 to 7 years. All of the anti-crypto people will likely see MSTR as a top 3 company in the US in like 5 to 7 years. And they're going to be like, what? Like most of my money is going to what? Like Bitcoin?
Yep. You're going to be in it. So it's going to be rapid fire because I know you got time cut off. So we probably get like 4 minutes in for some of these because these are some good questions. I just don't want to skip them.
I think we can do about 30 minutes. So till 9:45 should be good.
Okay. So this one is coming in from Coley. If I said that correctly, says, how safe is a wallet without a passcode?
Incredibly safe. BitKey is so safe. Obviously, I always encourage individuals to do their own due diligence. But for context, I don't plan to. I've been in this space for a very, very long time, and I don't even have a hardware wallet as I speak to you. Individuals in the Bitcoin space who are Bitcoin maxis will be pulling their hair out listening to me say I don't have a crypto wallet. I don't. I haven't seen the need for it. But when I do decide to own one, it's going to be BitKey. It's not going to be anything else, right? Because I just don't want to live with this concept of being scared that I can just lose my keys and it's gone.
And all your stuff gone, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the guy that lost all that millions of dollars in the sea.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
This one is coming in from Dennis. If Bitcoin is a deregulated finance, is it good or bad that we have it, that we are having bills passed for crypto? And also, if Bitcoin is for individuals, isn't company like Strategy acting like the feds now?
Yeah, it's very, very, very good question. So if Bitcoin is supposed to deregulate finance, is it good or bad that we're having bills passed for crypto? Let's put it this way. Until there are bills passed for something, that thing cannot be legal in the economy, or that thing isn't recognized. So the passing of the bill just legitimizes it as something that citizens don't need to be scared of, right? So think about what that means. It means that those who were buying this asset before it became, in quotes, legitimate to the eyes of everyday people, like they are in early, right? So the rules just allows everyday people to feel comfortable with owning the assets. So it's just required. It's almost like when the car was created. I'm sure people were like, oh, we like our horses. Why do you need a car? The car can kill people, or the car is too fast. Fill in the blank, whatever the excuse was. And imagine they're like, we need laws for cars. People are like, why do we need laws for this thing?
Like your
we just need
seatbelt,
it.
right?
Okay, if Bitcoin is for individuals, and MicroStrategy is acquiring it in bulk, isn't it acting like the Fed? The better way to look at it is MicroStrategy is doing its thing. You get to decide whether you want to own MicroStrategy stock or not. You can decide whether you want to, right? You don't have to buy MicroStrategy stock. You can just buy Bitcoin itself. And your Bitcoin is outside of the control of the government. However, you definitely want Michael Saylor to be doing what he's doing because Bitcoin has a limited supply and all he's doing is buying. So it's just helping you, the individual who owns Bitcoin. with that being said, as a disclaimer, I'm really bullish on MSTR.
Got you. And Harold brought up a good question, which is how do you see MSTR in relation to Bitcoin 5 years from now? I think you just kind of answered that. It's like they already all in
Yes, they are
with that.
all in.
Yeah.
And another thing that many people, and Harold, shout out to you. He's a part of the generational wealth community. What most people don't know is that MicroStrategy, because they can borrow money or issue shares to buy Bitcoin, they're able to grow their company at a faster rate than the growth of Bitcoin. Does that make sense? Because they are doing this financial engineering to try and acquire more Bitcoin. So let's say, for example, Bitcoin is going to grow, I don't know, 500% over the next 5 years or 200% over the next 5 years. It wouldn't be wrong to anticipate that MicroStrategy could potentially have double that return. Right? So 200 would be, 4, 500 would be 1,000%, right? Which essentially is like a 10x. So yeah, just something that people can keep at the back of their mind, that MicroStrategy will more than likely grow faster than Bitcoin.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna go ahead on and let's do the drawing now. I'm gonna go down and share. So for some of you who just joined, we're actually doing a book giveaway here on the show live. You get to spend my money today, and hopefully you get to use that book to actually, kickstart your your investment into crypto and actually utilize the information we learned today to take you on to that next level. So if you haven't already typed in crypto already, please do so. We're going to go ahead on and start that process right now. So I'm going to give you like a minute or two because I know there's a little delay. And we're going to play some music in the background. Let's see what I got back here. I got some weird stuff back here. Let's see. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, nice little chill, because it's at the end of the night. I don't want to wake people up. So go ahead on and put your cryptos in, and as you see, the counter goes up live, so you get to see it as it goes through. All right, so we're going to do a countdown. Oh, and for people who are new, this is the book that you're going to be getting. It's called The Bitcoin Standard, recommended by Dr. Hans. He says, this is the book to get. So, when you want to get to where he's at, obviously he looks at this every day. This will be your starter book if you want to get to this and really speak to it, get educated. And this is what this show is about, to make sure you're fully educated, and so that you can make the life decision that's necessary for you. Alrighty, so y'all not spending Dr. Hans' money, y'all spending my money. All right. Let's go. Alrighty. Who is the winner of this? Who's going? JJ. All right, congrats, JJ. Let me give you some round of applause. Congrats to JJ. So JJ, what I need you to do is to send me an email at anthony@aboutthatwallet.com. All I need is either an address, or if you have an Amazon box that's near you, go down and shoot me that Amazon box name. If you're not familiar, I think you can actually just select your location, and it will actually tell you which Amazon box is near you. And then I'll have it sent to that particular box. Usually it's at like a 7-Eleven or what's the name? 7-Eleven or like a grocery store or something like that. So you can always get it. So congrats to JJ. Do you think we should give away another book? I
was going to say I wanted to do one for myself. So okay. My Instagram page is at the Investing Tutor. So similar to you.
Yep.
Obviously, because Amazon is able to ship to the US, it's simpler to do this giveaway for individuals in the US. So for my most recent post today, Anthony, if you can scroll up a bit.
This one here?
No. The one below that.
Okay, this one.
Yes. So this one, I posted it today. The first 10 people to comment. So if you're in the US, first 10 people to comment on that post, I'll go ahead and DM you and I will mail you out a copy of the Bitcoin standard. So first 10
Wow.
people to comment.
Go ahead. Oh, y'all better run over. The first 10.
Yeah, first 10 people to comment on the post will get the Bitcoin standard. Okay.
Yep.
So
And
just go to my page, the investing tutor on Instagram, and just comment on the video that you see on the screen.
yep. And look for the one where he's wearing the burgundy red shirt.
Yes.
So it's first one. Dr. Sav, you're driving. Well, Dr. Sav, you always on my. I mean, we chat all the time.
Yeah,
We can work something out.
for sure.
Man, this has been great. So I want to leave this up here for the people if they want to jump over to Instagram to go ahead on and make that comment, and I can always refresh to kind of see where they at.
Mhm.
Let's see. Oh wow, you already got. That's nice. So
Absolutely.
that's great. So one of the things that I want to say is there anything that you want to leave everybody with for the night?
Yeah.
Out of everything that we talked about,
Yeah.
what can get them fired up
Mhm.
about crypto if they're not fired up yet? Because I'm already fired up. I'm like, at least let me give me 0.0001 Bitcoin.
Yeah,
At least
absolutely.
something
Yeah.
to say for the people.
Yeah. I want people to really feel and know like how important this opportunity is. And to put it into context, think about it this way. Okay. The more people who come in to buy this asset, the higher the price rises, right?
Yeah.
So we've had close to a decade of no legitimate rules or regulation around this asset. So it's only like individuals who've done the work that have been buying. Now, as the laws come into place, you're going to see now 401ks can buy this asset. Pensions can buy this asset. I wouldn't be surprised if one day the US government is like, you know what? Social Security is underfunded. We're going to put some of the money into Bitcoin, right? Or the US government needs a way to be able to figure out its debt situation. So the US, by the way, this is also a law. It's called, I forget, the Bitcoin Act. Like the US wants to buy Bitcoin. And this is not even like a law from the president. This is a law going through Congress, the Bitcoin Act. It's at the Senate right now. They want to buy 1 million Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah. So pensions, they're going to have endowments. Like eventually you're going to have countries. The way that Bitcoin works, anytime someone who doesn't have Bitcoin sees the price going up, they feel massive FOMO.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that a lot of people don't care about Bitcoin. They probably will keep ignoring it. But I can guarantee you when it hits 1 million, 1 million, everyone is going to wake up. Be like, oh my gosh, 1 million? And at that time, they're going to be hearing that it's going to 10. And you're going to see large amounts of capital being pumped into it. And at that time, it's going to be deemed less volatile. It's a long way of me saying that I have just never in my life seen such a clear opportunity
Yeah.
for individuals in our community to just focus on buying one asset, okay? Get exposure with money that you don't necessarily need. Just let it compound, let it grow. So yeah, that's pretty much I think about it all the time. I'm like, wow, most retirement accounts don't own Bitcoin. So once
don't.
they unlock that, tons of capital. Most financial advisors are not allowed to buy Bitcoin. Once they unlock that, tons of capital. Do you know why the financial advisors are going to buy it? Because when they put Bitcoin into their portfolio and the portfolio grows more, the percentage that they are earning, like Bitcoin is structured in a way that it incentivizes everyone who buys. Let's say countries, let's say the US buys 1 million of Bitcoin. All of a sudden, UK is looking at their economy. They're like, US is growing so fast because Bitcoin is powering it. UK announces we're going to buy 500,000 Bitcoin. United Arab Emirates, they're like, what? We have oil money. We're going to buy 2 million Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the only commodity that no human being can create more than 21 million. So while countries are battling with each other, how many they can buy, going to be laying on a beach somewhere, probably in Ghana, West Africa, living like royalty, and just relaxing, figuring out, okay, which charities am I going to support today? Which initiatives am I going to push money? Which entrepreneurs am I going to fund their startups? Which just how do you give back? So I just want more individuals to be positioned to be able to do that. The last thing that I'll add also is, how I just shared the example of financial advisors and how they have an incentive. Think about when Bitcoin hits $1 million. The richest people in the world will be Bitcoiners. Do you think that countries across the world will be able to pass negative laws against Bitcoin when all the richest people hold Bitcoin? Like, there is such an incentive system that goes across the board, which is mind-blowing. Most people don't sit down and think about this. It runs through my mind all the time. And I'm saying to people, don't play around. Secure your stack. Secure your family for multiple generations. Own an asset that is accessible anywhere on earth. With the internet, no one can manipulate it. No one can take it from you with force. You can pass it down to multiple generations, and you don't need permission from someone to be able to pass it to someone else. All you do is you just send it to a wallet. Or if you wanted someone to inherit your Bitcoin,
just send it.
Just go and tell the person, okay, yes, send it to them. Or give that person your wallet, or give that person your secret phrase. We've never seen anything like this ever before, where property, an asset, is digital. And the laws that maintain it is not managed by humans. Just, I don't know if you all felt that, but do with it what you will. And please secure yourself, secure your family. This is the redistribution of wealth that many people have been waiting for. Right? People are waiting for politicians to pass laws to redistribute wealth. It is in front of you. It's called Bitcoin. Okay. With that being said, just a quick tip.
I'll go for it.
I feel like Ethereum has incredible potential over the next 5 years. I don't know if Ethereum can live multiple decades like Bitcoin is going to, because Bitcoin, as we know, there's no humans, there's no founder, you get what I mean? Ethereum and the others have founders. But with that being said, Ethereum is going to benefit significantly from the stablecoin Genius bill. Also, Wall Street has picked Ethereum as the main blockchain that they wanted to power Wall Street and finance. JP Morgan is building on Ethereum. Coinbase is building on Ethereum. Robinhood is building on Ethereum. What does that mean? Ethereum right now is $5,000 for one Ethereum. Right. There's price projections that Ethereum could potentially be 60,000 by 2030 or 100,000 by 2030.
One of the things with Ethereum, one of my coworkers, I was sitting beside him because this is when I was building about that wallet. Mind you, this is about 5 years ago. At the time, my coworker was like, oh yeah, I buy Ethereum. I was playing around with it. And he said, it's only $300. And I was like, really? It's like, man, maybe I should just give you 300 because I didn't know anything like how to even get the wallet and I need to get all this stuff because I wanted to do it anonymously. And I was like, maybe I should have just used my real name, just get it. I didn't care. It's my wallet. It is what it is. Now that I'm thinking about it, hindsight 2020, I should have just gone on the butt, like, use my paycheck, just like, here, take it. But from it being $300 from when I like physically see it with my own eyes at 300 for it to be at 5,000 now, I'm like,
Yeah.
And people around me are talking about this stuff, and I'm just like, have fun with it, like, because I'm doing other things, but I should have dabbled in it. And I remember when Bitcoin was available for $10, you could easily get it. Like we're at the age now we've seen this stuff. It's almost like seeing Google coming through. It's like, oh yeah, Google's like $5 or the .com era.
Yeah.
That's where we at right now to see how it go on. And we haven't found we're getting close to finding like those core stable coins that would actually take us to that next level. So, man, this has been a wild ride. It doesn't even feel like we've been talking for like an hour and a half, but man, everybody's in the chat saying like, great show. Thanks for having you on. They really love this stuff. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like button because I want to make sure that we share this out to as many people. The more people that actually see this, the more action and activity we can make sure we share this out with the world and our people.
Yeah.
So this is
Anthony,
great, man. Yeah.
I know that for individuals who are new to the space, they're probably, okay, where do I go get this asset, right? Where do I buy it, right? I know people will be listening to this from multiple countries across the world, right? And if you're listening to this, you've listened till the end, share this video with someone that you care about. It's completely free, right? And I've mentioned so many just valuable nuggets that will change people's lives, right? But for individuals listening who want to buy a crypto asset, just Google crypto exchange in your country, okay? And select the one, or just research the top 2 or top 3 and select the ones that have the highest rating and reviews in your country, okay? And just do some due diligence on them. And that is how you should start, right? In the US, I'm sure the top ones, might be Coinbase or Robinhood or Fidelity, right? In Canada, there's like Wealthsimple or Robinhood. UK, Europe, there's Robinhood. There's also Coinbase. In Australia, now there's Coinbase. There's Kraken also in Europe. In Africa, there's Yellow Card. There's Bamboo. There's just do your research, do your due diligence, make sure it's a top ranked exchange in your country, high reviews, and just start there, right? Don't overcomplicate it. Don't give money to someone else, or someone messages you on social media and then you're like, oh, go and buy crypto for me. No, educate yourself, right? Do your due diligence and kind of go from there. And for individuals who just kind of want to know more about what I do or the community that I have, you can go to my website. It is theinvestingtutor.com. So www.theinvestingtutor.com. There's a preview of the Generational Wealth Program, which is available on the website. So individuals can preview the GW program. And yes, that would be a great start to get a feel for, if this is something that you want to invest more in terms of becoming a part of the Generational Wealth family, learning, and just building generational wealth for you and your family.
This is awesome. And Dr. Hans, thank you so much for coming through with your time, your effort, your energy, and giving back to the community as always. I can't thank you enough for everything that you do and continue on to push the narrative. Man, Dr. Hans, thank you so much. You have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to go down and do a quick wrap up for everybody here. We'll catch up online anyway.
Absolutely.
So, all right. See you, Dr.
Well,
Hans.
thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. So everybody, please make sure y'all follow Dr. Hans on his platforms, either on Instagram and also his website. This has been an amazing show. This is the reason why I do my show, is to continuously add people onto the show, give you the right information so you make the educated choice for your families and also for your community, and that you can now walk with your chest high and really make sure that you are actually answering the call for your family, and also not just for yourself but for your unit. You are taking that moment to really educate your child, educating your parents. Because right now I have so many episodes to release that are talking about how they use investing to actually caretake their parents. They were able to take off of work for like a month or two without a care in the world because they were able to take care of their parents, take care of themselves, because they actually invested in themselves early on. And I want to make sure that you have that ability to do that as well. So if there's anybody else that y'all think I should have on the show to kind of help you all to the next level, please drop a comment in. And if you haven't already, leave a like, go ahead on and subscribe, because I want to continue on to have more lives like this. I wish you all the best. Be safe out there, and I'm out. Quick wrap up. All right, everybody. I'll be out. Peace.